week in movies, we're talking about two huge, the start of the summer.
The start of the summer.
Two huge movies, the start of the summer.
Blockbusters.
One that hasn't come out yet. We're going to tell you all about it. It's called Star Trek.
Little movie you may or may not have heard of, Star Trek.
So J.J. Abrams is a part of the geek culture by being behind the television shows as Felicity, Alias, and Lost, and directed a couple years ago Mission Impossible 3, but now has firmly planted his foot in geek culture by remaking one of the most beloved
IPs,
geek properties of all time. In his
own image.
Yeah. So J.J. Abrams' Star Trek is basically an origin story about how the Starship Enterprise that we know and love from the TV show and movies all came together.
Basically.
Alex, you have gone on record as saying that you...
I was hesitant.
Were hesitant.
I was hesitant. I was very concerned.
Right.
The hesitant
very
concerned.
I'm very curious.
Hesitant man kneels before God.
Hesitant man shall pass.
I'm very curious what you thought of the movie. So please tell me.
Good question.
I didn't mean to laugh like that.
Good question. No, that was very manly.
Yeah.
I was very cautious. I didn't know what I was sort of getting into. There were a couple things in the trailer that stuck out that were issues I had. I think overall, the movie turned out to be as good as I could have ever hoped it would have been. I thought it was amazing from beginning to end.
So Dan's barometer holds up again.
It does, and it was awesome. There were, it was just a thrill ride from beginning to end. They did enough to, pander is the wrong word, but they did enough fan service to me, the little guy who loves Star Trek. There were moments where you're like, that is exactly what I wanted him to do and be and say in the fan side of me. But the guy who likes movies that just do cool stuff and have great premises and great cast and great writing was there too. So it was almost like the best of both worlds. And Simon frickin' Pegg is amazing. I even thought John Cho, who I could take or leave in a couple of his movies. I thought he was great. I thought the guy, Carl Urban, who plays Bones, was awesome. He's sort of the only one that does the sort of affectations of him.
Yeah, he didn't show any of his country music career roots in that at all.
I think you're thinking of Keith.
Oh, darn it.
But anyway, so I loved it.
You know, I forgot to mention that the writers of the movie are the team Kurtzman and Orsi, who also wrote Mission Impossible for JJ, but are behind the TV show Fringe, did Alias with JJ, and also wrote last year's Transformers and this year's Transformers. So they have two, and they are executive producers on the movie, and they've been producing movies. They're sort of an incredible writing team as far as becoming filmmakers.
Right.
Jeff, what did you think of Star Trek?
I agree with Alex. I think it succeeds at being a complete summer blockbuster thrill ride. Also succeeds on emotional levels for me, who has a very deep connection to these characters. I welled up a few times with certain things that happened. There is a very deep sort of emotional storyline that's going on that I thought really worked. It is big and exciting and fun and funny. I think Chris Pine is a superstar who is about to happen. He has that wonderful combination of being at home in these comedic, silly, slapsticky moments, and also, but never losing that masculine hero. And it's something that a young Harrison Ford had, you know, like the tapestries, you know, scenes. Chris Pine is at home there, and yet we never for one second not think he is a badass who's capable of flipping out and killing people at any time.
I love it.
There are wonderful moments that I urge everyone to avoid spoilers, because I didn't know there was a lot of stuff in the movie that was... This is a brilliant transformation from being a television series that had movie chapters, but was a television series, to being a film series.
Yeah.
And the thing that they do so brilliantly, and I wish I could spoiler it out, but I don't want to, is keep all of the changes that they made completely in continuity and justify everything. And it's awesome how they pull that magic trick.
Yeah, yeah. It was
Which
great.
seems to be a modern thing with the reboots. There was one of the other remakes we had recently was it kind of kept it in continuity while being totally new. I forget what that film was, but it seems like that's the
Well,
trend.
while you're talking about how you like Star Trek, I'll be not listening and thinking of what you're talking
Please do.
about. I will.
Because I had really high expectations for this movie. I haven't been as excited for a movie in a long time, and this absolutely met those expectations. It was amazing. I have to second what you said, that Chris Pine is Harrison Ford and Kurt Russell. I want to be him so bad. If they do a younger Big Trouble in Little China remake, it is him, dude. I
leaned over to you while we were watching and I said Captain America.
Yeah, I thought Bruce Greenwood could have been older at Captain America. He's a great actor. And Carl Urban.
Yeah, right?
I don't understand
Kiwi.
that casting choice.
Yeah, that was the one that confused
every other role that guy has been in has been nothing like this role.
Yeah.
I don't even get how you think. I mean, he must have said, "Look, let me do a voice for you. I can do this."
Well, he clearly is doing an impression of what's his name?
Yes, the guy who plays Bones.
We should know his name. Come on.
You guys know it in a second.
You guys are the guys.
I'm thinking of what he's talking about 5 minutes ago.
Anyway, I couldn't be more ecstatic about Chris Pine, and I urge you to go back to an earlier episode of Totally Rad Show where Jeff and I raved about him after seeing him in a play. So it's in.
We knew it first.
We knew it.
You said that man could be Kurt.
It was me, you, and JJ. But dude, he is it. I mean, he's the future of movies for the United States, for the world.
The United States of the world. I want to bring up another thing.
Hold on, I gotta say a few more things.
Oh, I want to throw it to you.
Okay, throw it to me.
Because I think this movie is classic filmmaking, and one of the reasons is the phenomenal score. And I know that you can speak more intelligently about the score. Did you not feel that way?
Yeah, it's interesting.
I assumed you would.
The score, I liked a few elements from it. It had no theme. It did have a theme, but I didn't love it. It didn't have this big fanfare.
Wow, I loved it.
It was very simple. There were a few incidental moments that really created mood, but it's not a score I would go home.
I thought it was like driving.
Can we talk about
Michael Giacchino, who does Lost?
Can we talk about the sound effect for going into warp speed?
Oh yeah, so bad. It's like a bullet.
That was it.
Yeah, it was the bullet being launched. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sorry, I
amazing.
totally interrupted you there.
But the other star of this movie is Dan Mindell, who's the cinematographer, who does all the Scott, not all the Scott, but a lot of the Scott, Tony and Ridley Scott movies, and has done some of my favorite commercials. He did MI3 also with JJ, and the colors in this movie, the colorful cinematography it's awesome, 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 awesome. A great movie. Leave it to JJ to humanize this, what always felt very stilted to me, and I had to read into what these personalities. I felt like real geeks of the Star Trek series understood the different interjecting personalities. But they were really brought to the surface and nuanced by the actors. But in the story, I welled up in the first 10 minutes.
Me too.
Yeah,
Me too. The first 10 minutes is awesome.
And they do not start.
And he did the
slow.
same thing. Mission Impossible 3. What this movie is to the Star Trek series, what Mission Impossible 3 was, I felt to the first two Mission Impossibles, or even the show, where it humanized this stuff that's normally just thriller and things that happen. It's very plot oriented.
I didn't really love.
And it makes it so character oriented.
Yeah, I didn't really love Mission Impossible 3.
I think Mission Impossible 3 is one of the most underrated action films of
I'll watch it again.
on
Blu-ray.
of the past 20 years, of our generation.